when Congress declares war. That's it. They can send the militia out within the United States to control unrest, but they can't use force. They can't attack anybody. They can't shoot. They can keep the peace. Is that clear? But this is what we did. We invaded, we shot and killed thousands of people. And they're trying to say, they're just completely overlooking that and talking about, oh, well, she got the wrong information. They're completely ignoring this language as one man determines to be necessary, which put us under a police state, like a dictator, yakety yak. And me and mine and you are the only people in the world who say that, who know that, who say, yeah, right. Everybody, oh, no. And the reason for that is because Hillary Clinton is a Democrat, and she voted for this thing. And all the Democrats who voted for it with her are equally traitors. And now the Republicans want to put a Republican in office, and all they got to do is say Hillary Clinton's a traitor because she voted for this, and there'd be a Republican in office next year. Does everybody understand that? But they won't do it. They won't do it because that brings up the issue of Public Law 107.243, which authorizes the President of the United States to use the armed forces of the United States as he, one man, determines necessary. If you'll turn now to page, on this document, to page G, you'll see the people who voted aye for this. I call it Hillary's treason. But they also included Biden, Feinstein, Grassley. He's running for Congress right now. He's running for Senate right now. All I got to do is call his opponent up and say, hey, this guy's a traitor. Start talking about it. Can't wait. Orrin Hatch, Kerry, our Secretary of State, he voted for this thing. McCain, who's running for re-election, and all I gotta do is call his opponent up and say, hey, this guy's a traitor. Here's the evidence. I'll send him this. Okay, better way. You're all well informed. Is there anybody that doubts that anybody who voted for this Martial Law 107.243 is a traitor, committed treason? I mean, they authorized the President of the United States to use the armed forces of the United States for what reason?
The reason she determined it necessary.
Okay. And what's he going to do as he determines it necessary?
Send the troops in.
Is he going to serve we the people, sir?
No.
What's he going to do?
Big money.
He's going to serve his sponsors in organized crime, which has been going on since World War II. We have not had a constitutional war since World War II. There have been 27 of them, including the Iraq conflict. And, but until the Iraq AUMF, until the Afghanistan AUMF, until after, right after 9/11, it also authorizes the use of force. It authorizes the use of force to find and punish or whoever caused 9/11. It doesn't say as he determined necessary. It says to use force against whoever caused 9/11. To use all necessary force against those who caused 9/11.
They haven't fired one shot at Silverstein or any of them.
Hell no. But
Bush or anybody.
okay. Here it is in black and white, the people who authorized the President to use the armed forces of the United States. And I think everybody agrees today that it was wrong. It's killed, it's made us hated people, killed our Earth neighbors, put us in debt. I mean, it couldn't be more wrong.
Will ISIS take over the country, defend it?
It couldn't be more wrong to let one man use force, which is against everything the Constitution stands for. Now, is there anybody who can argue with me right now that that is not a treasonous vote? Is there anybody who could say that it wasn't treason to vote for the use of force as one man determined necessary? Okay, well, how come I can convince you but I can't convince any public official?
Because they're bad handlers.
Because they took an oath to support and defend the Constitution without mental reservation for purpose of evasion, and they don't do it. They support and defend their sponsors. We the people have never had an opportunity since 1781 when the Congress was founded by 39 men, no women. We have never had such a golden opportunity to clean up this whole document, to make it work without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. Instead of being used and abused to satisfy some sort of what I call fascist agenda. That includes organized crime, and that also includes religious myth mongers. These are religious wars over there. They call them civil wars. Yeah, they're civil wars, but they're religious civil wars. They're factions of a Muslim faith that don't agree on the faith. And we're over there sending them troops and toys and tanks and guns. It is absurd. It's just insane. 6,800 of our troops have been slaughtered as a result of that stupid judgment. To get involved in and it didn't start out to be a civil war. It was an invasion of Iraq to get Big Oil operating in Iraq. I never knew that Big Oil wasn't operating in Iraq. But the CIA promoted Saddam Hussein, and like all these guys, they go bad. But he was good enough to keep out his enemies, and there was none of this religious war crap going on when he was in charge.
No, he just exterminates people.
Right, but when they took him out, all of a sudden all these enemies came back in and the war starts up.
Yeah, because he was holding them out.
That's correct, sir. And the same thing in Afghanistan. We went into Afghanistan to do two things. To get in on a pipeline, cross Afghanistan to get Enron in the black, and to control the heroin production. Well, it so happens, though, that those Afghan people are atheists. We got to kill them atheists. They don't believe like we believe. And I found that right after 9/11. I never even heard about Afghanistan until after 9/11. And Osama bin Laden and all this stuff, Al-Qaeda, I never even heard of. So I did some research, and hell, these people are naturalists. They don't believe in anything. They work in natural. They work with nature. Kind of like me. I don't believe nothing. I work with nature. And there's no better way to learn to work with nature than driving horses. No better way at all. I'm an expert at that, and I'm an expert in reconnecting people to nature, which is what I would like to be doing instead of exposing treason. But this is more important because if we don't get this work done, there ain't gonna be no United States. It just ain't gonna continue. It just can't do it. As I've told you, we're in 1.4 trillion, 19,400 billion in debt. We'd take a train from here to Stockton. If you had every car stacked with $1 billion, it'd be a train from here to Stockton to carry that debt. And right now we're only paying 2.25%. Rates were put artificially low after 9/11 to create a buying boom to take people's mind off of what actually happened on 9/11. Two massive 10-story steel structures, 110-story steel structures collapsing in 10 seconds. Bullshit. I gave you this document here. Very proud of this. And it says, will Donald Trump tell the truth about 9/11? I should say, will Donald dump?
Yeah, that was pretty good actually.
Will Donald dump?
Are we ready to dump him already?
That's our next one. That's our next one. Will Donald dump Hillary? Donald, please dump Hillary. Donald dump Hillary. No, Donald dump Hillary. Donald dump Hillary. But anyway, last week we had Rachel was here with a little gal who'd never seen this before, and she was shocked at this picture. She'd never seen this sort of thing. Did you hear her say that? Couldn't understand how they bring those buildings down in 10 seconds or whatever it was. She made some comment. But she's a typical average idiot, and she's not an idiot. She's the organized crime control, Willie Brown stained media, mass media informed. We're talking about the truth here. And here these pictures are, and they claim that these, I showed this picture one time. I was waiting in jail to see Rachel go. Some lady was in there, and so I show my latest work. I'll show her this picture. She didn't want to look at it.
That's what people say. I don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
That's what people would actually say.
Can you imagine that?
I don't want to know. And I say, we're losing our country if they still don't want to know.
And it shows three pictures of the South Tower collapsing. And it says, Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan is congressional fraud to wage unconstitutional U.S. war, number 25, since constitutional World War II. Based on the lie that Al-Qaeda killed 3,000 Americans on 9/11. No Al-Qaeda did this. No president, member of Congress, judge, or public officer in the country will admit that the Twin Towers were demolished. Not one of them. I haven't even started to go out and talk about this yet. I can't wait. We'll do it at night down there. County Board of Supervisors is open today. San Rafael City Council is their meeting tonight. Does somebody have you look up the San Rafael City Council? See if they're
Why do
meeting.
you think our officials are not?
Pardon me?
Why do you think our officials can't be stupid enough to believe this?
It's not that they're stupid, they're dirty.
Yeah. Are they afraid?
They absolutely know.
They're just paid off.
And that's today in Mike Thompson's office. He has this wonderful assistant, Sean, and I told him that the whole problem is getting you or anybody who's connected with the government to agree that Hillary's a traitor.
San Rafael City Council meeting.
And here's the evidence here. Hillary talks about it here. We talked about it. Here's the law she's violated. And then I read to him the third, page 3 here,
Page 3 on,
on the Hillary, where's Hillary Clinton? Can you read this, Mary?
Here's what all 374 martial law 172.3 passing traitors did. Number 1, betrayed the people. Number 2, aborted this Constitution for the United States of America, accordingly this congressionally betrayed people's preamble. Evident Exhibit 22 and 217 evidences of psychological terrorism. Number 3, ended our republican form of government protected by Section 4, Article 4, Constitution for the United States. 4, ended our democracy. 5, ended our land of the free and home of the brave, according to our stricter manner. 6, enabled corruption by 8 Congresses. 7, maintained that each of these Congresses dictated.
Yes. Wait a minute. How did we miss that, Mary?
Number 7, maintained the lie that Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 Americans on 9/11, quoting and Exhibit 194. 8, maintained mass murder and land terrorism of congressional choice and necessity. 9, did 2,982 Al-Qaeda murders on 9/11 caused by bad faith and deliberation, detailed in Exhibit C in the World Donald Trump talk about 9/11. Number 10, concealed 9/11 planning criminal top 9/11 benefactor Willie Brown. 11, lynched over 6,808 God-fearing Americans and wounded 970,000. 12, caused possibly 68 veterans per day to commit suicide. 13, slaughtered 880,000 Muslims based upon a lie endangering all Americans. 14, exploited over